What's good, everybody? This is Miss Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with a Black Clover, chapter 314, prediction. Man, so I've been seeing a lot of different predictions that have been going around, and this is probably going to be the most craziest chapter that we've seen. We've had some pretty crazy chapters, and a lot of speculation on why this is going to be a crazy chapter is because it's supposed to be, I believe, the last chapter for this volume, so that's going to be super crazy. But before we get into my prediction, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell, and if you want to support me directly, I actually have my own manga book out, the Most Random Manga Ever. It's the first cannabis-themed manga comic, so make sure to check that out, link in the description. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So where chapter 313 left off, we got more than likely the second gate opening up, which we all know that is super bad, not just because it's the second gate, but who is potentially coming out in the second gate, and that is Lucifero. Apparently, Morris rearranged the tree of Cliff-Off to, instead of him coming out as far as in the lower level, he's coming out as far as on the second level. Now, there's a lot of things that are going into play with this. All right. Now, we know as far as Morris stated what was the necessary ingredients with the new rearrangement of the tree of Cliff-Off, and that was Yami and William's magic and life energy. Now, we're dealing with twos. We're on the second gate. You got William and Yami. You got two people that possess Lucifero. And we also know that Lucifero is aware of what Magicula tried to do. Now remember, Magicula's way of getting into this world was the sacrifice of 3 same-sex powerful mages. Now, Lucifero saw that, and I'm like, is there a possibility that the way Lucifero comes out is through the actual sacrifice of the taking of the souls from William and Yami? Because it's one thing as far as the just, the character getting killed off. But it's another thing for a character to get killed off and their soul to be taken, because that can be a whole new arc as far as getting back, their souls. It doesn't mean that they'll get them back being alive, but at least like their souls, different things like that. Because what did we see when it came to the defeat of Magicula and the soul of Noelle and Ozel's mother came out? So, I think that chapter 314, there's going to be a sacrifice needed to be done. Because here's the other thing. Lucifero coming out, we know, is very, very, very bad. So what if, in order to prevent, Lucifero from coming out, Nox telling, Asta, like, look, you have to do it now. You have to attack the tree with the anti-magic. I know, we're gonna lose Yami and William, but like, you have to do this, And I think that Asta may be put in a predicament, like, because again, there's so, I was wondering, I was like, there's so many parallels with 2, because here's the thing. Remember when Lit had all that negative mana, turned into the demon, king, Lit had to kill him. Like, that was a jacked up situation, I feel like history is repeating itself, because then we find out as far as the backstory with Zenon and how he felt like he had to sacrifice his friend. But then we get who's just all like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. There's gotta be another way. And even though he originally had lost, he was able to overcome and then beat Zenon. So there's several key things in the fray. For one, Julius was all like, something really bad is about to emerge. Like, so much that he was slumped over. Never seen his face like that. Then we still have as far as the 4th Zogratis Sibling. So I feel like with the introduction of Lucifero possibly coming out, I feel like we're going to get the 4th Zogratis Sibling. I think that this is going to be a big reveal. And I don't know if it's going to be like the 4th Zogratis Sibling and they're about to show him and then it cuts off, or they're gonna show full-fledged the 4th Zogratis Sibling. But I feel like the 4th Zogratis Sibling, Lucifero, and Julius, I don't know, I feel like there's certain correlations that are going on with those people, So, and another thing that I want to mention, because I started thinking about this and in disguises and illusions and people not being who they are or looking like this person. Because here's the thing, let's take in consideration, for one, I gotta double check, but I don't know if we seen Gray first or Julius. But Julius transformation, when he was first introduced, he was not who he actually was, Gray, when we first seen her, she wasn't who she actually was. Charmy has 2 different appearances. Heck, even the Heart Queen, she has basically 2 different appearances. She has the super, badass appearance, and then she has her clumsy appearance. We've seen Not. Why doesn't he have his natural hair? Why is he, I understand honoring somebody, but that particular moment from the grave, him being at his brother's grave, to black hair and the meat, what was that? What is that? So I feel like, and even when it comes to, Lucifero going into 2 different people, there's the whole rivalry, Asta and Alan and Zenon, Lit and, Lumiere, dualities that are light and dark that are going on. I feel like there's also, people are talking about the possibility of Yami being possessed, especially by a high-ranking, devil, and I can see that as well. The only thing is, how does Yuki Tabata actually handle death of a big character? If that's what's actually about to go down. But I feel like this is going to be such a big chapter. Let me know what y'all think. My personal predictions, I think that we're either going to get the fourth Zogratis Sibling, we're going to get Langris and the William moment, we're going to get Lucifero, or all three, or a combination of two of those. I don't know. The way I feel like I need to go back and just like really read up to as far as all the way from the beginning to this point, because man, it's getting very interesting to see as far as where things are headed, because we gotta see. I don't know, like, this is very, very interesting, because it's like we got Julius's predictions. We have this stuff that's going down right now. We have as far as there's this Black Clover exhibition that's showing as far as like this tornness between Yuno and Asta, and that was restated within this arc, like that's something that Yuno still has on his mind. That's a driving factor for a lot of things. So why would his half be burnt? Now what's interesting is that there was a burn and not a rip. And so I feel like all of those things are something to pay attention to when looking at these particular things. There's going to be like a fallout or, something like that. I don't think it's going to be like whatever happens, I don't think it's a forever thing or that's the end of them, because again, it was burnt. And it's not like it was all the way like, Yuno's part was burnt. It was just the bottom half of him was burnt. So again, it wasn't ripped. They weren't ripped in half or different things like that. It was something happening to Yuno, and this affecting the two of them, but I don't think it's on that level of like this hatred for each other. But all of that rivalry, bubbles up as far as what the premise of this particular story is as far as Black Clover, because we find out the origin as far as like the way that the two royal brother basically, turned into hatred to each other and turned into demons, and there's these two demons, so it's just all like, what's going on with that? So anyways, I don't want to go on a super rant. These are just my predictions as far as for Black Clover 314. Let me know y'all's predictions in the comments. I want to start, highlighting and putting y'all out there. So yeah, we'll talk about it, discuss it, but other than that, hit the notification, hit the subscribe, hit that like button, and make sure to check out my manga, The Most Random Manga Ever, the first cannabis manga. Check that out, and my newest single, Invincible Summer. Anyways, this is Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Peace.
In the darkness, turn the galaxy into my office. Translate the thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my pocket, building resilience. So when the next winter cycle comes, I prepare with no losses. The work of the soloist's a boss.